have learned a lot of life lessons from these women. I have shaped my own perspective to life. I may not 100% agree with everything they say. However, they have helped me grow as I was trying to navigate who I wanted to be in life. Let me put out that disclaimer, because these women have their own perspective, they are human as well, they have their own exposure, they have their own opinion to life, but they have been a very huge blessing for me, and I'm grateful to come and talk about them here on my platform, hoping that somebody out there may start watching them, gain 1 or 2 values, or this video may just be to appreciate them, to say thank you for being amazing at some point in my life. There will be some honorable mentions, but these 6 women at that time in my life were the 6 solid pillars that helped me redefine what I wanted to do with my life. So before I go into details, I have to really appreciate my mother for being an amazing support system. My dad as well, they have done fantastic. I'm grateful for them. If not for them, I don't know where I would have been, and I appreciate them for their support so far. What I'm talking about in this video goes way beyond what you can learn from parents. It's now like your personality structure, what I wanted to achieve at that time in my life. Because for those that know me, know that I used to look very churchy, very young, innocent, naive, but I felt like as a creator I was more than that, and I wanted people to see me for who I was, for somebody that was creative, that could wear any personality, that could look any way, not because I was scared of anybody, but I didn't know how to go the route of how I had it in my head. So thank God for good friends and exposure. My then boyfriend, now husband, we had a conversation about my personality, how I carried myself on stage, and how I want people to see me. So we both did research online of how to dress, how to look like a lady, how to be elegant. You know, in one of those discoveries, I discovered Patricia Bright. Patricia Bright is an amazing person I will talk more about later. Without saying a lot, let us get straight to the video. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Glory Rex. I am a YouTube content creator, a spoken word poet. Okay, I'm on the journey of becoming an animator. I will share more of that as we progress in life. So my returning subscribers, you guys have been the one carrying this channel on your head. Thank you for sharing my videos, for recommending me to people that have reached out to me in my comment section, in my email, people who have worked together. I appreciate each and every one of you guys are the fuel that is fueling this vehicle. Thank you so much for being amazing, super supportive. I don't take you guys for granted. For those that are just seeing me for the first time, hi. I'll drop some videos linked below just in case you have not seen any of my videos. And if you love this one that you're watching, please just like the video. That way YouTube will say, you enjoyed this video, let me share to other people. Thank you so much. And you can just subscribe. It looks like people that are watching me are just watching and passing. Just hit the button, just hit it, just that red one, just hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. This particular video I'm filming today, I wrote it at the last GT Fashion Week last year in this my idea book. Like I like to call my jotters, I call them my idea books. I even made a video talking about my experience at the GT Fashion Week. I wrote this particular content talking about these women that have been amazing to me. I even filmed a video, but I looked at it and I'm like, nah, I don't like it. I thought we would film another one. How amazing these women have been to me, watching them growing up. I would say growing up, not like I was a kid, but at least, you know, growing up. Yeah, because talking years back when a lot of people were not really creating content, and these were the people that were pushing content creation in Nigeria years ago. Not like I'm talking about something that happened recently, for those that want to, you know, have a particular feeling, okay? Because these women were the ones that were in the forefront of content creation, in my own opinion. Now we have more content creators than them. Then it was just people sharing experiences, hobbies, none of that. For those that did not know, I think from research, YouTube was more like a dating app before it became a platform that people started sharing their experiences. Before, you know, people started getting monetized. So YouTube has actually been a journey. So for those that have no idea of this, I'm talking about the time that people were making videos for the purpose of sharing experience. The first on my list is Patricia Bright. Like I gave out her name in the introduction. Very fantastic person. From this lady, I learned how to save money and spend money. I'll tell you. The next on my list is Kelechi Mbemena, the queen of DIY. Right now, she's Kelechi Mbemena Osai. That's because she's married. She has 2 amazing kids and she has moved to Canada. But the most important thing is that I am grateful to have watched her through her own journey as well. There's a lot to talk about her later too. Okay, so the next on my list is Dima. Ah my god. Dima was one of the amazing YouTube content creators that took her time to explain makeup. The art of makeup, not looking like a masquerade. At some point, she even did this makeup with Chigel. Very hilarious, but still you learn something. They did their makeup in Igbo. That's to tell you how detailed Dima is. Dima is somebody I wish I can just hug, but let's keep going. So after Dima, you have Omabel. Omabel, in one word, is transparent. She is fantastic. She's somebody that started sharing how people with acne can do makeup. That's why I actually like to watch her videos. I just want to see that transformation, because you see her face with all the acne. You see her when she's done, you be like, eh, what is this person? I even subscribed to her channel. I was very religious with watching her content because I felt there was something to learn or something to gain. Let me keep that because I'll say more of it in this video. You're going to be patient with me in this particular video because I don't want to say everything all at once, but as I'm breaking down each person's personality, I'll tell you all the because and all the whys and why I stuck to watching them for a very long time. The next person I'm bringing up is Auntie Fumi the Saluvod. In Nigeria here, we use auntie for people that are older than us, and anybody that brings value is auntie. Definitely, like instantly. The minute you see value, you're already an auntie. Because Auntie Fumi is not just intelligent, she's a mother. She's a mother to so many girls that I'm sure she may not even have the opportunity to meet, because she has so many followers, she has so many young viewers, both young ones, old ones. I need to wear lipstick, I'm coming. That's Auntie Fumi does it. She sings. I live and I love. I really love Auntie Fumi so much because she's like a mother. Back to business. I like how my lips looks now because I was like, what's going on? Auntie Fumi is like that mother figure. You can bring your problems to online. She addresses it. She will dissect it. Okay, this person is at fault. That person is right. This person is wrong. Or both parties are at fault. And she does makeup, lifestyle. She gives advice that would help a lot of girls, because I feel like some people are just gifted to just give advice. So the last on my list, definitely not the least, is Lucy Benson.
You know that talk, the talk that you feel like you are bonding with your new man, but you are talking about your previous relationships with your new man. Yes, okay.
You feel like you're listening to somebody like Auntie Fumi. No, that you're listening to a very young and intelligent woman. Let me now take my time to talk about them one by one. Let's start with Patricia Bright. Let me give you guys a quick backstory. For those that used to know me years ago, I mean like 2011. At that time, I was that young spoken word poet that went from one stage to the other, performing, doing my spoken word poetry. But at some point, I felt the need for more. So I started checking online for the kind of personality I wanted for myself, because I remember then when the likes of Asha would come to the studio, there was this aura about her. When the likes of Buki, yeah, I admired them. I like how they would talk, how they would carry themselves, how they would come with their PAs. Like that whole scenario, I wanted it for myself. I remember speaking with Courage, one of the amazing makeup artists here in Lagos, Nigeria. I'll put her link below and I'm going to pop it on the screen. I was telling her that I wanted a kind of makeup that was going to be half lion, half human face. And she asked me a question. She said, can you carry that? Like, can your personality carry what you want to achieve? At that time, it struck a chord. I was like, wait. I felt like I needed to grow a personality. That was just what it was. And no disrespect to everybody that looks natural, you're beautiful. But one thing I've learned in this adult life is learn every skill necessary. Because sometimes my experience filming myself with my camera is that most times when you just wake up and start filming a simple video, at some point it just looks like you just look there. When you put yourself together, maybe a little lipstick, a little lip gloss, you look different. There's something it does. Like, you look like you're ready to take over the world. That is just me saying. It may not apply to everyone, because I know people watching me have different opinions of life. Some people are pro makeup, some people are not. So No disrespect to anybody, it is just my own personal preference. So another thing about me is that I like to learn how some things are done, and I want to learn it the right way. I may not have the equipment to get the right results, but I just want to push myself to see, okay, how far can I go? And that's what has helped me so far in my life, because I remember watching these women. One thing they all had in common, they all like to look classy, put together. So this was what I had in connection to them, and that's why I stuck with them for a very, very long time. Although over time I've added other people to my watch list, but these women were the ones I watched like religiously for a very long time. So let's start with Patricia Bright. Patricia Bright is one person that I was so excited when I read online that she was a Nigerian. That way it made my relatability, I can borrow that word, it made my relatability with her even a lot more personal. I know what it feels like to have a dream and to build a dream and nurture that dream, to make that dream a business that is now like catering for other people. Of course, employing people is what I mean. But she has proven herself as somebody that has that go-getter mentality, and right now she's living her dreams. I even saw a video where she was talking to her sister and her cousin. It was like a podcast. They were talking about their journey, and I felt like, that was why I connected to this lady from day one that I saw her. I remember the first video I saw of Patricia. She was talking about makeup do's and don'ts, and she was talking about fashion do's and don'ts as well. And I remember then most of the clothes she wore on her videos, and even the ones she was talking about, the ones she was wearing, and talking about, okay, this particular style is good for you, a certain body type. Like, she was more into influencing and selling products consciously or unconsciously. But in those things she was doing, she was dropping live lessons. And the beautiful part of it is, before I know, she came up with another channel called The Break. So The Break was how to now save money. And I remember in some of her videos, she would talk about the fact that yes, she's spending money, but she also has properties as in real estate that she's also making money from. So at that point, I saw a balance between somebody that was making money and somebody that is also business conscious. Another time, she brought her husband, Michael, to come and talk about how they plan their family structure. She even has this book called The Planner, something like that you can plan your finances. I was like, perfect. She now created that balance, like, oh, I'm not the spend kind of girl, I'm also the spend and invest kind of girl. And what that did for me was it helped me to be a lot more realistic with what I wanted for myself. Yes, I wanted to look a certain way, but I don't want to go off budget. So as somebody that is an amazing as somebody that's an amazing thrifter, I feel like I use the word amazing because watching the likes of Patricia and most of the things she talks about selecting certain clothes, when I go to thrift, the people even say, "I to come and select for me." I've done a video that I spoke with my friend that I thrift from. I'll put that on the screen and also in the description box. I feel like thrifting is another way to get what you want at the price that you can afford, because that way you're not breaking the bank and nobody cares. Nobody knows you're wearing thrifted clothes, only you that know. So I feel like Patricia brought all this and more to my life. She made me see life from the perspective of, okay, even if I don't have this, I can't afford this right now, I can plan for this. Because there's one thing for your family to say something, and there's another thing for an influencer to say something. Because every influencer have or has a way to convince you to get something or to convince you to not do something. Do you get what I mean? Now let me move to the next person, which is my one and only DIY queen, Kelechi Mbemina. I started watching Kelechi Mbemina when I wanted to create my YouTube channel. I remember she has like a playlist of what you should buy for your YouTube channel. For those that will be filming with their phones and those that will be filming with DSLR cameras, she broke everything down. And I started watching and observing, like, okay, the DIY skills kind of rubbed off for me because I'm somebody that is a creative. So things like that will naturally appeal to me. Even as she moved to Canada, I even saw a video where she was painting her studio by herself. It tells you that this person is not because she cannot pay somebody to do it. It's something she likes doing, and it has given so many ideas to so many people. When people tell me I want to start a YouTube channel, I just forward Kelechi's playlist to them. Go and watch it. She has said everything there is to say, and she's still saying. I remember I got introduced to TubeBuddy from Kelechi. I heard about CANVA from my partner and also Kelechi as well. Kelechi did like tutorials talking about how you can use Canva to create your thumbnail. I really learned a lot from Kelechi. I remember when ChatGPT was introduced, she made videos about how you can use ChatGPT to generate different video ideas. Like, she has just been that sort of inspiration, and that is why I love and cherish her. She also does makeup, lifestyle. Now that she's a mom of 2, she does, you know, some lifestyle here and there, sharing her experience as a mother, and that is beautiful. Because one thing I have learned is to watch people that have, because that way when you start having unconsciously, you now know how to use and take care of what you once watched. Take that for me, because if you're watching these people, at some point it looks like, I can't afford this, I can't do this one, but by the time you're watching, you don't know that your subconscious is registering something. So when you come in contact with what you have seen online, you don't look like you live under the cave. Kelechi, she's tech savvy. I love the fact that she talks about YouTube equipment, queen of DIY. Let's move to Dima.
Hello guys, this is my first ever YouTube makeup tutorial. I have a blog, and a lot of my followers and those who read my blog have asked me to put up a video showing how I create the looks that I post in the blog, so this is it.
When I started watching Dima was her makeup sessions. So one thing about Dima is that she talks about do's and don'ts, buy and don't buy. This is how you can use this. I remember when skincare started raining in Nigeria, I was like, how will I apply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on my one face? But Dima made a video to explain what each product was used for and why you needed that and why you don't even need at all. So I feel like Dima was very transparent with the fact that these are the brands I work with. You can try them out. I will not put them out if I don't try them out. And so far so good. I love to even read her comment section. Now she's happily married. In fact, the day Dima posted her engagement picture, I was one of those that was just jumping up and down, like my sister was, you know, getting married. I was so happy for her, because before then she had been doing some videos talking about how people talk about the fact that she's not married. There's this particular video she did specifically with this lady that does the podcast I Said What I Said. I remember in that video she was like, she'll make herself the victim, saying things like, oh, you think I'm happy that I'm unmarried? Of course I want to be married, I want to have kids. By the time she's done with her own emotional explanation, you'll be forced to tell her sorry. That's another experience she picked up somewhere, but sharing that online, it has also helped me to see human beings from a different perspective, because sometimes people may be talking about something from their own way of caring about you, but they don't know that you are being hurt. So when you now throw it out to them and make them see that this thing you are saying is paining me too, that way they now start seeing you like, okay, you're actually human. So I learned a lot from Dima's choices of products, from a lot of things and a lot of friends she brought on her platform. And the beautiful part of it is even the likes of Chimamanda Adichie started buying some makeup products because Dima recommended them. I watched that on her platform as well, and that was so beautiful. So like I said, Dima's content before and now, one thing that has remained consistent is her eyes for good things. Dima like good things. When she started filming herself in her kitchen, baking and all of that, cooking, I can tell that this lady, her cleanliness is not just on screen, you even reach out. Like, Dima is very put together, she's organized, she's a very good storyteller. She talks about the books that she has read, and it now makes you see beauty and brains, because Dima is beautiful with and without makeup. So I remember most times after watching Dima and I go and practice. Oh God, thank God I didn't have the courage to put that out. But the fact that I was able to know what foundation is, know what it is used for, mascara is, why you need mascara, that is beautiful. So thank you, Dima, for sharing. Oma Bell, for me, she introduced me to a lot of products. Oma Bell is a very fantastic content creator. There was a time in Nigeria where Aganawana was a trend for people that just left the shores of the country. But Oma Bell lives in the United States of America. Her content were done with her accent comfortably. She was not struggling. She was not trying to be like anyone. She will say things the way she knows how to pronounce them, and that way it makes the video interesting to watch. I like the fact that she used to transform in the video. How she started and how she looked were two different people. Like, you can bet there was no acne there. So I liked her intentionality, transparency, everything about her just screams class. I remember one video I was watching She was talking about like home decoration, how she wants to start doing all that things on her platform. I felt like, yes, whenever you feel stuck and you don't want to just keep putting out one content, makeup, it's okay to diversify. That is why no matter what anybody tells me, niche, I feel like if I feel like I will not burn out creating this kind of content, I'm okay with it. I'm happy creating them. Whoever will watch my content will see me for the palm tree that I am. I have palm wine if you want. I have coconut if you want. If you want, if you want to use the leaves for anything good and fine. I feel that is how content creation should be. She was one of the first people that I saw that came online to say, I'm not feeling this makeup thing like that every day. I want to put out other things. And of course, should I get to work with more brands, with some household items, you know, I just to decorate this stuff, or I did this with my kids. It was really beautiful to see, and it felt like a breath of fresh air. Then let's move to Auntie Fumi de Saluvode. Auntie Fumi, I started watching her from sister to sister. If you are an OG like that with Auntie Fumi, her bra hacks, underwear advice, you know, breakdown of certain things, and most importantly, self-esteem tips. Auntie Fumi is the queen of it all. Let me put it that way. No disrespect to other creators. I feel like she talks from experience, she talks from her age, what she has seen. The fact that she's well traveled and she's open-minded gives her that holistic view of life to be able to advise people irrespective of gender or personality. There was this video that she did recently to respond to a fan. So the fan sent a message to her of Meghan Markle that she was twerking in the labor room, something like that, and the person was saying it like the person felt unhappy with that situation. However, the way Auntie Fumi was able to break it down and explain to the person, there was this keynote I will not forget, because 2 or 3 people were beginning to tackle the person. So the person put in the comment that something about the community not welcoming her, that she doesn't feel welcomed. One thing she said in that video is that look at how you feel you're not welcome because 2 or 3 people tackled you. Now imagine somebody like Meghan Markle that has been tackled all across the globe. That response comes from somebody that is wise, because sometimes it's easy for us to criticize people because of what we see online or what you are being fed. But what if you take time to say, okay, if I join everybody to criticize this person that will be dancing in the labor room, what do I know about labor? People are in pain, just want relief. What if at that point she was dancing was just like a stress relief for her? So that's why in life you need people that are holistic, balanced. They don't just see life from a traditional perspective. They just have ways of thinking outside the box. Then I remember another one where a fan was tackling her home, how it looks like. In my own opinion, the room the person was talking about looks very nice. That's her son's parlor. Do you know how many people out there cannot even afford to have a decent looking parlor for themselves, let alone for a kid? So I feel like the response she gave to that person is fantastic, is premium. And if you want to know more about Auntie Fumi, I'm going to drop a link to her channel. You see everything she has been posting. Like I said, I may not 100% agree with everything that has been said by these women, but when it comes to value, don't throw the baby with the bathwater. Take what you want and ignore what you don't want. You understand? That is how I'm going to rest that case. Lucy Benson. I've known all these women. First I started watching Lucy Benson. I think I was in traffic when her video was recommended to me. God, I watched and watched till I got to my house. I felt like I just discovered a new pastor. I felt like, where has this person been? Lucy Benson is very intelligent. I'm happy that most of the women I've spoken about in this video are beauty and brains. I like her transparency. I like the fact that yes, she makes her videos talking about the girly stuff, and at the same time she's very in real with reality. She calls out all the craps that are going on as a norm online. For example, the lady, she's been tackling a lot of things online that are social media norms, and like I said, it's beautiful to have balance, to have people that will say it like it is, people that are bold, audacious. Yeah, so this brings me to the end of this video, talking about these 6 women that has been amazing life transforming. I would definitely admit that. They have influenced my sense of style. Most times when I wear tops that have thumb hole, it reminds me a lot of Kelechi Mbemena and a bit of Patricia Bright, because those are the things you likely see them wear, and I like it. Anytime I dress like that, stuck on my YouTube channel, I just have this vibe like, hey, I'm looking like one of these ladies. And of course, the way my hair is wrapped and packed. There was this video I was watching of Lucy Benson. I felt like for this kind of lady that has this kind of class to be able to, you know, wear headband, look very clean, put together, and make a video, it not go bad now if I try something like this. Because like I said, your influencers and your family, at some point you realize that you are being influenced more than whatever value you already have. Because for somebody like me that was once a churchy girl, of course I tied scarves, but now the way I'm tying my scarf is making my face look a lot more cuter than it used to look. I don't know why. Maybe it's the structure, the intentionality, the fact that, okay, I have my brows looking a certain way, but then when you see me, you see my scarves. Generally, I'll just say it feels like I have grown, I have learned new skills, I have been influenced properly, and I read, and I'm creative. Because whenever I want to make a video, what comes to my head is, how do I want to look in that video? What kind of clothes am I wearing? Like, I chose white because I felt like white is a color that represents purity, and of course any headband will go with white, but I just chose this particular color of green because these women I'm talking about, they are one way or the other Nigerian. Auntie Fumi is Nigerian Gambian. Every other person is like full-fledged Nigerian. So since I'm hailing Nigerian women, I thought to be very intentional with my choice of headband. I went for the green one. So it's green and white. Shall you see? Intentional. Like I said, this particular video was done based on my own opinion. And any of these women that you want to check out after watching this video, I'll drop their links below in the description box for you. Just learn one or two things, be happy, explore. You can even tell them you are from me. You can recommend this video to them as well. I'll be grateful to you. So I mentioned I was going to give some honorable mentions because later down in life I started watching some people. Tolulope Solutions, I really enjoy watching her a lot. Then for legal advice, I started watching the likes of Nezeville. I like how she tells her own story from the perspective of a lawyer and well-informed person. Started watching her as well. And other people here and there. And lately I added to my list Adeze Space because I felt like I like to hear people that do videos that criticize things. Let me hear from what angle are they coming from. It would be nice to also watch other people that are creating something completely different from what you're creating and see the angle they are coming from. When it comes to skincare, I started watching a particular lady. I'm going to put her picture here on the screen. She has been amazing when it comes to do's and don'ts of skin, do's and don'ts of application, do's and don'ts of scrubs. Like, she's very good like that. I'm going to end this video with you wanting a particular video from me. There was a time in my life where some people believe that using shampoo was from the devil, from the marine kingdom, and they use bathing soap. So if you want me to talk about that video, just let me know in the comment section, because that was an entire experience, you know. But I'm grateful. I'm not going to say whatever to criticize them or give you more gist, and we'll analyze it together, because shampoo now they wash hair. So I don't understand how it... Let me leave that in a separate video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Ciao.
Tomorrow's bright, just wait and see.